solve linear systems using a third method in this lesson. So we learned how to solve linear system using graphing method, using the substitution method, and now we're going to learn elimination. Elimination works very similar to how you would add a multi-digit math problem. For example, don't write this down. Let's say we had 536 plus 297. You would stack them on top of each other and solving how? Solve the 1, solve the 10, solve the hundreds. This is going to work in a similar way. You're going to stack the equations on top of each other, and you're going to solve the x's, and solve the y's, and then solve the non-variable terms. I'm going to write down our first problem. The first problem is 3x plus 4y equals 8. And the other equation is negative 3x plus 5y equals 10. Now you're going to see I already wrote the rules out for you. You can pause and write all the rules right now, or you can walk through the problem with me and write the rules as we're doing them. Your choice. So step 1, both equations need to be in the same form, meaning they need to be in standard form. They both need to be in slope-intercept form. They just have to look alike. And in this problem they do. They both are in standard form. Step 2, one variable needs opposite coefficients. So do you see that my x's, the coefficients are 3 and negative 3? Those are opposites. So once I have one set of opposite coefficients, I'm good to go to solve. Now let's say my x's were 2x and negative 5y, and then my y's look like this. They were not opposites, so I could not solve. And then you're going to need to make them be opposites. I'll show you later on in the video. I do have opposites, so I can go ahead and continue on. Step 3 is going to be to add. Again, this works like when you add a multi-digit math problem. I'm going to start with the x's. 3x minus 3x is 0x. Do you see that that eliminates the x's? I'm not even going to put 0x. 4y plus 5y is 9y. 8 plus 10 is 18. Okay? Now I can solve this equation. 9y equals 18. I'm going to get y by itself. Y would equal 2. Step 4, find the other variable by substituting into one original equation. So we're going to substitute our answer into one of the original equations. It doesn't matter which one you use. Either way is going to get you the correct answer. I'm going to use the one with all positives. Instead of y, I'm going to put 2. This should say equals 8. Minus 8. So now that I have an x value, a y value, I can write my answer as an ordered pair. 0, 2 is my final answer. You can check these the same way we were checking when we were graphing. You can plug 0, 2 into both equations. If they both are equal, then you know that 0, 2 is correct. Let's try another one. 4x minus 3. Y equals 5, and then negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 7. Step 1, both equations need to be in the same form. They're both in standard form. Step 2, one variable needs opposite coefficients. So here 4 and negative 2 are not opposites, but negative 3 and 3 for the y's are opposites, so I can move on. I can stack them on top of each other, and I can add. 4 minus 2 is 2x. Negative 3 plus 3 would be 0y. And then 5 plus a negative 7 is negative 2. Solve the equation. I get x equals negative 1. To find the other variable, you're going to substitute your answer into one of the original equations. I'm going to use the second equation this time. Negative 2 times negative 1 plus 3y equals negative 7. 2 plus 3y equals negative 7. 3y equals negative 9. So I get y equals a negative 3. My solution is going to be negative 1, negative try negative 5x minus 6y equals 8. And then 5x plus 2y equals 4. Push pause and try that now. Okay. We're going to continue on with some hard problems. In these problems, you're going to have to find the opposite coefficients. So let's try 5x plus 6y equals 4. And then 7x plus 6y equals 8. Let's follow these steps. Step 1, both equations need to be in the same form, which these are both in standard form. Step 2, one variable needs to have opposite coefficients. Well, 5 and 7 are not opposites, and 6 and 6 are not opposites. It's my choice on whether I want to make these to be opposites or these to be opposites.
Excuse me, teachers and students. It will be another indoor recess. Temperature is 11 degrees with a wind chill factor of 8 degrees. So it's indoor recess.
If I want to make the first terms opposite, it would look like they would both have to be 35. So I'd have a 35 and a negative 35. If I want to make these to be opposites, I would need to have one 6 and one negative 6. It doesn't matter which one you change. If you want to change the first one to be negative 6, you can. Or you can change the second one. I'm going to change the second one. To make this be a negative 6, I have to multiply the whole equation by a negative 1. So this would change to negative 7x minus 6y equals negative 8. The first equation I did not change. I'm just going to stack it on top of the other one. Okay. Now that I have opposite coefficients, I can go ahead and add. 5x plus a negative 7x is a negative 2x. These are opposites, so they cancel out. And then I have a negative 4. So I get x equals 2. Now that I have my x value, I can move on to step 4 and find my y value. Plug it back into one of the originals. I like the first equation because it has smaller numbers. And then write my answer as an ordered pair. Okay. Let's try 7x minus 2y equals 5 and 7x minus 3y equals 4. Step 1, are they in the same forms? Yes. Step 2, one variable needs to have opposite coefficients. So here are really close to opposite coefficients. Here we're a little further away. We would have to turn them into one into a 6 and one into a negative 6. It looks like this is going to be less work. Okay? Opposites would be 7 and negative 7. I would have to multiply one of the equations by a negative 1. It doesn't matter which one you multiply by a negative. Now the last problem, I multiplied the bottom equation by a negative, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when you multiply the top by a negative. Multiply the whole equation. Negative 7x plus 2y, negative times negative is a positive, equals a negative 5. I did not change the second equation, I'm just going to drop it down and move on to the third step, which is adding. Opposite coefficients cancel out, so I have no x's. I have negative 1y equals a negative 1, so y equals 1. I'm going to plug this back into one of the originals. I can use one of these originals, or I can use the equation that I changed. Either works. I'm going to use this original right here. 7x minus 2 times 1 equals 5. 7x minus 2 equals 5. Plus 3x minus 4y equals a negative 1. Go ahead, push pause and try that now. Okay, I have one more set of problems to show you. One more time. This time you're going to have to rearrange the terms so they are in the same form. So let's say we have, let's skip a couple lines, 9x minus 3y equals 18, and 3y minus 7x plus 30. You cannot do step 3, add until the like terms are stacked on top of each other. These are not like terms, these are not like terms. Oh, I forgot an equal sign. It should be an equals. These are not like terms, these are not like terms, these are not like terms. You can choose to put them in standard form, you can choose to put them in slope-intercept form as long as they look alike. I'm going to choose to put this bottom equation into standard form. To do that, I'm going to bring the 7x to the other side. Okay, so I'm rewriting this bottom equation. Negative 7x plus 3y, because it's positive, equals, the only thing left on this side is 30. I did not change this first equation, so I'm just going to copy it over. Look for step 2. Do we have negative coefficients? Yes, the y's are negative coefficients. So I can go ahead and add. 9 plus a negative 7 is 2. These cancel out. So I get x to be 24. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong here. Oh, I wrote down the original problem wrong. It's okay. My problem, my notebook has a negative 7 here, but that's okay. This should still work. We're going to continue on. I'm going to substitute 24 either into the top or the bottom equation. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to substitute it into the top. 9 times 24 minus 3y equals 18. Okay, so now I need to multiply. 9 times 24, which is 216. Bring the 216 over. I would get a 198. And 198 divided by 3 would be a negative 66. Now you're not going to get big numbers like that. That's only because I copied the problem down wrong from my notebook. You should get nicer numbers. But that works for this problem. Okay. I have 2 additional problems I want you to try. I want you to try one that works just like this last one. 3x plus 4y equals a negative 6. And then I want you to try, this is like the bonus question, 2x plus 5y, oops, I skipped something, didn't I? Go back to this first one. 3x plus 4y equals a negative 6. 2y equals 3x plus 6. We need that second equation to solve. Back to this bottom one. 2x plus 5y equals 12. And then 5y equals 4x plus 6. This last problem here is a 2-step problem. Give it your best shot.